Okay, students, good morning, all of you. Our next topic discussion: absorption of digested food. Absorption of digested food. See here. So here in this one, absorption is the process by which end products of digestion are passed into the intestinal mucosa. Absorption is the process by which end products of digestion passes through intestinal mucosa into blood and lymph, blood and lymph. That is. So absorption is the process by which end products of digestion passes through intestinal mucosa. Okay, intestinal mucosa into blood and lymph. So blood and lymph is a colorless fluid which is passed through the lymph vessels. Okay, that's all. So next one is, okay, so from the intestinal enter into the blood and lymph. Generally, absorption process is carried by three different types of transport mechanisms. The process of absorption is carried by the process of absorption. The process of absorption is carried out by three different types of transport. Okay, come to the point. So absorption is the process by which end products of digestion passes through the intestinal mucosa into blood and lymph. Blood and lymph. Okay, that's all. So generally, absorption is carried by three different types of transport mechanisms. Three different types of transport mechanisms. Those are, first one is simple diffusion. Simple diffusion. Second one is diffusion. Facilitated diffusion. And third one is transport mechanism. So the absorption is carried out by three different transport mechanisms. So first one is simple diffusion, acid transport, in which some monosaccharides such as glucose, galactose, amino acids, amino acids, and electrolytes such as chloride ions are transported by simple diffusion. So the simple diffusion depends upon concentration gradient. From higher concentration to the point of lower concentration. Okay, so that is called simple diffusion. It is slowly passive transport method. Okay, so simple diffusion in which some monosaccharides such as glucose, galactose, amino acids, and electrolytes such as chloride ions are transported by simple diffusion, which depends upon concentration gradient from higher to the lower concentration. That is called simple diffusion. Next, facilitated diffusion or facilitated transport mechanism. facilitated diffusion or facilitated transport mechanism in which some of the substances such as fructose, amino acids are transported by special carrier proteins. Special carrier, special carriers. Those are two sodium ions. This type of transport mechanism is called facilitated mechanism. Facilitated mechanism. Facilitated mechanism. Okay? So facilitated transport mechanism in which some substances such as fructose, amino acids are transported, amino acids etc. are transported by special carriers, special carrier ions, that is sodium ions. So this type of transport mechanism is called transport mechanism. Next, finally, active transport mechanism. Active transport mechanism in which some nutrients, such as glucose, galactose, lactose, sucrose, fructose, amino acids, electrolytes such as sodium ion, potassium ion, chlorine ion, bicarbonate ion, etc. are transported from lower concentration to the higher concentration. This is called active transport mechanism. Once again, transport mechanism in which some nutrients such as glucose, galactose, amino acids, fructose, sucrose, lactose, maltose, electrolytes, electrolytes such as electrolytes such as sodium ions, potassium ions, chlorine ions, bicarbonate ions, etc. are absorbed or transported by active transport mechanism. Active transport mechanism, which occurs against the concentration gradient. Against the concentration gradient means what? From lower to higher concentration. So when nutrients are transported from lower concentration to the higher concentration, there is energy expenditure required. Energy expensive. That energy is adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate, in which the ATP provides energy. That is adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate. Okay, so through these transport mechanisms, the products of digestion is absorbed in various parts of the small intestine. Okay, so that's that. Okay, ma'am. So, okay, continuation. In exams, they will ask. So, write briefly about types of absorption. In that cases, we have to write these are all the points. Next, fatty acids and glycerol are being insoluble in water. fatty acids and glycerol being insoluble in water and are not absorbed directly into the blood and are not absorbed directly into the blood. Fatty acids and glycerol. See, the digestion of proteins, digestion of food fats in small intestine. The product is fatty acids and glycerol. Already we have seen that. So these fatty acids and glycerol are being insoluble in water and these are not directly absorbed into the blood. First of all, these fatty acids and glycerol are being converted into small particles. Those are called micelles, small particles. So fatty acids and glycerol. Okay, so fatty acids and glycerol. Those are modified into small particles. Those are called micelles. Micelles. So these micelles, the micelles are transferred into the lacteals. See here. So rather than that, here in another way we will discuss. Fatty acids and glycerol is converted into micelles. Micellus is transported into the intestinal mucosal cells. Micellus is transported into the intestinal mucosal cells. Intestinal mucosal cells. Okay, so intestinal mucosal cells. Micellus is transported into the intestinal mucosal cells. In small intestine, there is a cell is present that is called intestinal mucosal cells. Mucosal cells which are present in the small intestine, that's why it is called intestinal mucosal cells. In the intestinal mucosal cells, the micellus is converted into protein-coated fat globules. Those are called chylomicrons. Okay, so in the intestine, micelles are converted into protein-coated fat globules. Protein-coated fat globules are called chylomicrons. These chylomicrons from the intestinal mucosal cells are transported into the lacteals. Lacteals also called lymph capillaries. Lymph capillaries are present in lymph vessels. Lymph vessels are present in small intestinal walls through which chylomicrons are transported. So the chylomicrons are transferred into the lacteals. Lacteals also called lymph capillaries. Lymph capillaries are present in the lymph vessels. So in the lymph vessels, these chylomicrons are finally absorbed into the blood. Absorbed into the okay. So chylomicrons are transported into the lacteals. In the lacteals, these absorbed chylomicrons are transported into the blood through left subclavian vein via thoracic duct. Okay, let's see here. So fatty acids and glycerol is converted into micelles in the intestinal wall. Micelles which are transported into the intestinal mucosal wall. In the intestinal mucosal wall, those micelles is converted into protein-coated fat globules. Those are called chylomicrons. These chylomicrons are transported into the lacteals. So lacteals also called lymph capillaries. Lymph capillaries are present in lymph. So in the lymph vessels, the chylomicrons are absorbed into the through vein. That vein is called left subclavian vein via thoracic duct. This entire process takes place in the small intestine. So actually, so we look at the small intestine. We look at the so in the small intestine, the intestinal walls, these are called intestinal walls. In the intestinal walls, as this process takes place. Finally, so these chylomicrons in the blood. So chylomicrons are entered into the lacteals. From the lacteals, it is absorbed into the blood. So these chylomicrons in the blood is broken down. So these chylomicrons in the blood broken down into small particles by lipoprotein lipase enzyme. These chylomicrons are broken down in the blood by lipoprotein lipase. Those broken substances are absorbed in the adipose tissue, absorbed in the adipose tissue, absorbed in the adipose tissue, and liver for storage. Okay, so these chylomicrons are broken down into small particles with the help of lipoprotein lipase enzyme. Okay, so those broken substances are entered into the adipose sites of the adipose tissue. Adipose cells of the adipose tissue. The adipose tissue, some cells are there. In those cells, those broken substances are entered. Some are entered into the adipose tissue, some are entered into the liver. So this is the process in our body regularly happens. So this is called absorption of digestion. So in exams 5 marks question, how does absorption process takes place in small intestine? If the question asked, you have to represent these points. Very easy, just maximum 3-4 points. Okay, so happy answers and give the converted into mycelium. Short form I am saying. Mycelium transported into intestinal mucosa. In the intestinal mucosa, which are converted into protein-coated fat globules, which are transported into the lymph vessels or lymph capillaries. In the lymph capillaries, those are directly absorbed into the blood. So, one vein. So that vein is called left subclavian vein. That vein diagrammatically we cannot show. In the small intestine, once it happens. Okay, various part mentioned that diagrammatic representation. Okay, so we have to understand. So lacteals. So our lymph capillaries, our lymph vessels. So directly absorbed into the blood through left subclavian vein via thoracic duct. Thoracic duct. Via thoracic duct. Why? So via thoracic duct, it entered into the heart. Those substances are entered into the heart. From the heart, it is supplied to throughout the. Okay, that's subclavian vein is one. Next, thoracic duct. Next is chylomicrons. Finally, chylomicrons are broken down to small particles by enzyme, that is the lipoprotein lipase enzyme. Okay, so these chylomicrons are absorbed into the blood, in the blood. So those chylomicrons are converted into broken down into small particles with the help of lipoprotein lipase enzyme. These lipoprotein lipase enzyme will play a major role in breaking down of the chylomicrons. Those small broken down small particles are stored in adipose tissue and liver. So adipose tissue always associated with adipocytes, fat cells. Adipocytes means fat cells. So some amount of fat is required to our body. Already I said that. Okay, zero level of fat is not healthy. The people, if anybody had 0% of fat, those people are not healthy. Some amount of fat is required. That is why. So that chylomicrons are broken up into small particles. Those small particles are stored in the adipose tissue. Adipose tissue. So this is adipose tissue. In the adipose tissue, These are called adipocytes. In the adipose tissue, adipocytes will be there. In the adipocytes, those particles are stored. Some particles are stored in the adipose tissue, adipocytes of the adipose tissue. Some are stored in the liver for future use. See, for future use means what? Which we will not eat food for 1 day or 2 days or 3 days. No problem. Nothing will happen. So whatever may be the fat contents are stored in our body, those fat contents are dissolved and provides energy for our vital organs, heart, lungs, kidney, brain. Okay, so that is only, so that is adipocytes of the adipose tissue. Okay, so this is the absorption of digested. Next topic. Absorption of substances takes place in different parts of the gut. Absorption of substances. Absorption of substances takes place in different parts of the gut. Those are mouth, mouth, stomach, small intestine, and okay, mouth. Absorption of some substances occurs in various parts of the digestive system. In those parts, mouth. Okay. So in mouth, what are the substances are absorbed? See, certain drugs, certain drugs. See, certain drugs comes in contact with the mucosal cells of the mouth. Comes in contact with mucosal cells of the mouth. Mucosal cells of the mouth. See, certain drugs. The word certain drug means whenever we will take a drug. So those are comes in contact with the mucosal cells of the mouth. They have given mouth rather than that mouth. Saliva. Mucosal cells. Mucus is present in saliva only, but they have mentioned mouth. Okay, certain drugs comes in contact with mucosal cells of the mouth and lower side of the tongue. Lower side of the tongue are absorbed by blood vessels. Lower side of the lower side of the tongue. Are absorbed by the blood capillaries present in mouth. Okay, that is absorption. Okay, so certain drugs. So generally, whenever we take any medicines or insects. Okay, certain drugs, mucosal comes in contact with the mucosal cells of the mouth and the lower side of the tongue are absorbed by blood capillaries. Those contents are absorbed in the mouth. Next, stomach. Stomach. Yes, water, water, people, sugar, water, simple sugars, and minerals. Minerals, water, simple sugars, and minerals, and amino acids. Water, simple sugars, minerals, and amino acids are absorbed in the inner lining of the next small intestine. Here, among all these parts, the major food materials, the digested food materials are absorbed in the small intestine. That is glucose, fructose, lactose, maltose, galactose, sucrose, amino acids, electrolytes, etc. The major food materials, the major, the major products of food digestion absorbed in the small intestine. Next, here, water, absorption of water, minerals, and okay, absorption of water, minerals, and drugs take place in large. Like this, food materials are absorbed in different parts of the digestive. Different parts of the digestive. Next, like this. Next, assimilation. Assimilation. The absorbed food materials are directly comes in contact with the tissue. Whatever may be the food materials are absorbed by the intestinal mucosa, lymph vessels, lacteals. From them, those absorbed substances directly comes in contact with the tissues. That is it. The absorbed substances, absorbed food materials directly comes in contact with the tissue. In the tissues, those food materials become integral components. Integral components of living protoplasm. Living protoplasm. Integral components of living protoplasm. Living protoplasm, which are essential for the production of energy, storage, and growth. Energy storage, growth, and repair of the process. This process is called assimilation. Assimilation, one more definition. The absorbed substances or food materials are directly comes in contact with the tissues, where those food materials are integral components of the living protoplasm, and those are essential for energy storage, body growth, and repair. As this process is called assimilation. This process is called assimilation. Okay, so this is the one mark definition. PU exams. Okay, next one is defecation. 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 See here, undigested, unabsorbed substances are passed on to the large intestine. Undigested, unabsorbed substances are passed on to the large intestine. That is like for colon, passed on to the large intestine. Actually, No significant digestive activity occurs in large intestine. Only the large intestine function is undigested, unabsorbed substances are entered into the large intestine. Those are passed into the rectum. So functions of large intestine. Functions of large intestine. Functions of the large intestine. So the time is 7 minutes. Then about this next class we will see. Repetition also next class we will see. So some students sent doubts who will clarify those doubts. Sir, rotate device. Don't need to rotate the device. Okay, it was properly. Then why they are insoluble in water? South India. Why they are insoluble in water? What are those insoluble in water? You reply. Why they are insoluble in water? Why they are insoluble in water? Fatty acids and glycerol being insoluble in water. Yes. See, these are fatty acids. Yes, yes. Fatty acids and glycerol being insoluble in water. Yes, ma'am. Those fat contents. Fat contents means what? So in that fatty triglycerides, diglycerides, monoglycerides are there. Those contains chemicals. Some kinds of chemicals. Those kinds of chemicals will not dissolve in the water. So, for example, if you are a non-veg, if you will eat non-veg, just Sunday when chicken will bring, from that fat you take it and keep it in water, it will not dissolve. So instead of the water, that fat if you keep it in the chemicals, ether, alcohol, ester, it will be dissolved. Why? So those chemicals will not, in fact, sometimes of chemicals are there, triglycerides, monoglycerides, diglycerides, such kind of chemicals. Those kind of types of fats, those are not reacted with water. If they are not reacted with water, it will not dissolve. But those diglycerides, monoglycerides, triglycerides will react with chemicals. In such cases, with chemicals, alcohol, ether, ester, HCl, in them if you keep fat, it will be dissolved. Easily it will dissolve. But in water, it will not dissolve. Due to the presence of some kinds of triglycerides, diglycerides, monoglycerides, which will not react with the water. Unless show reaction, it will not show any product, any byproduct. So simply it will be present what is kept in the water, what type of fat is kept in the water, as usually that is present. Varun Hipparagi, ma, video is not clear. Ma, one thing I am saying. See here, first one boy said video was not clear. I cannot do anything. If the video was not clear means it is even network problem. My net is fully sufficiently there. Today any network issues are not there. So it's a problem of you. So if board problem is there means I arise the problem. So we are using green chalk, green board. On the green board we are using white chalks. After writing first time, little bit it blurs. That's why I am wiping properly. So to overcome this problem, we use even whiteboard also marker. So that is not at all visible properly. So if you were unable to see board properly means it is not my responsibility. So check your network. If we eat non-veg before, herbivores require large intestine. Is it true? That explains why. Yes, large intestine because then as they will eat more food. Okay, first they will eat hurry. That's why herbivores are called ruminant animals. Ruminant animals. Ruminant animals means what? Herbivores. When the food is available, hurriedly they will graze the grass and swallow. After eating, they leisurely sit at one particular place and ruminate. This is called rumination. After free time, they will bring back the food material into their mouth and grind the food material. That's why for them, intestine not in their digestive system had 4 chambers. 4 chambers are not like us. 4 chambers are present. Those 4 chambers are large chambers. Okay, four chambers are present. In previous in old book, digestive system of herbivores was there, but in new book the topic was arise. Okay, correct. Why? In the sense they will eat food hurry. After eating process, they will sit freely and bring back the food material into their mouth and ruminate. Ruminate means for freely sit and grind the food material. Grind the food material. Thereafter again. Yes, someone said that if we eat non-veg, how many hours it takes for digestion? Yeah, definitely it takes more than 5 to 6 hours. So, for example, if you eat mutton biryani during lunch, evening time immediately will not feel hungry because the process of digestion, especially mutton, takes a time. Okay, so meat required large time because it is a complex molecules. Meat in that fat contents, protein contents, more number of fat contents will be there. Those fat contents will not digest easily. Okay, so where's the food to digest? How many hours to take to digest? Vegetarian food. To digest veg food. Simple normal time 4 to 5 hours. Okay, so less time only required, but non-veg takes much time. Okay, that's why if we continuously eat non-veg, so the process of digestion is slow. Then those debris means what? Undigested particles remains in the small intestine. In such a way, continuously if we eat, those debris are remains inside the stomach, and it becomes toxic to our body. That's why we have to give gap. This Sunday we eat, next Sunday. In meanwhile, the non-veg material completely digest. Though digestion process is finished, some debris, some small particles will not digest immediately. It takes time for digestion of completely. Those non-veg material for digestion takes much time completely. So we have to give gap. So continuously today non-veg, tomorrow non-veg, tomorrow non-veg means our stomach becomes toxic. Okay, why it takes time to digestion of those? That's why this Sunday after next Sunday. Meanwhile, some gap was there. So automatically, okay, so that's all. So the meeting session is finished. I'm leaving the meeting. Get ready for another class.